What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Today is August 1st. I sent my truck into the dealership about a month and 2 days ago. It did take them a little bit longer than expected to get my truck back, but they were running some diagnostic on my truck, trying to figure out what was wrong with it. Since I basically, I was at my wit's end. So I wasn't exactly sure what was wrong with it, what was wrong with the truck, and now we have a pretty good idea as to what is. Now, I would show you, but the guy at the dealership, the technician, wrapped up some of the wires. I had bare wire showing on both the crankshaft sensor cable and the knock sensor that is on the passenger side of the truck. Now I've already gone and I started unplugging them, and I ran it up here toward the front of the truck. So I'm fixing to pull it out. Hold on a second. Hold on. Ah, puppy! How are you? Where you at? Where you at? Hi! Hello! Neighbor's dog. Her name is Lola. Oh my god. Hey, you better go back home. Yes, ma'am. You better go back home. You gotta go back home. Oh, she's so cute. Alright, come on. Come on. Come on. Go. You better go home. You're going to get in trouble. Yes, ma'am. You're going to get in trouble. You're going to get in trouble. Look at that. Alright, guys. So anyway, I've been taking out some of the wires that are underneath here, and I pulled them out, and they come out here to the oil pressure sensor, which is right there. That plug and those wires, as you can see, they're hanging down here. I've already gone and pulled those out. I'm fixing to unplug this and pull this harness up here and away so that I can actually access them. So I can see if I can find any exposed wires. If they are, I'm going to replace the insulation with heat shrink. I do have the tools inside the house to actually replace the pins and stuff, or to remove the pins, so I can slide heat shrink up there. So I'm gonna have to go to the store later and go get some more heat shrink. But so far, that's all I found right now. I'm gonna go ahead and fix this part of the wire, and if this part of the wire is good and it makes the lights go away and everything's fine, and it doesn't trip out my computer or the PCM, then I think we're good, ladies and gentlemen. So how we're going to do this is I'm actually going to go through this whole truck, and I'm going to look at all the wires and stuff. I've already re-insulated all these. I did this whole set here because they were exposed. I didn't like that. But if there's any wires that are exposed, I'm going to have to change them. See, like up here, all these wires are visible. They're actually supposed to be surrounded by this wire loom, but the problem is I barely put pressure on it. And you see that? I mean, I put a little bit of pressure and I can turn it into powder. That is not good. So eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking all that wire loom, all this, and going to replace it. In fact, I think I have some here in the garage. So let's go ahead. Get up in here. Ooh, I don't remember how that comes off. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to remove this stuff here and pull this wire out. We're going to inspect all this wire. Because this stuff, this is exposed wire that's in here. This is what the mechanic did as a temporary cover. This is your dealership right here. This is dealership's work. He just throws the stuff together because who cares, right? All this, I'm gonna unwrap it and rewrap it. I'm gonna clean all this up. See this is fine. This one's fine. It's this right here. These right here. All the rest of it, my opinion, I'm looking, just got a bunch of residue and stuff on it from the tape. It all looks okay. That looks just fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to separate all these wires here, and we're going to re-insulate this section here. This goes to the camshaft sensor. This goes to the NOx sensor. Man, oh man, what a mess. Alright folks, it is approximately about 4 or 5 hours later. It was actually really hot during the day. You can almost fry an egg on the hood of your car. So I decided to come out here in the dark and see if I can dismantle some of these. I haven't done this before, but I've got tools to do it, which are these thingamadoodads, Madilly Whoppers. That's a new name. If you notice, I spelled it at the bottom of the screen. Pay close attention. So let me go ahead and get into this. These I've been waiting for. I have no idea which one I'm going to be using, but these are basically pin removal tools that you would use on wiring harnesses, and there's like 60 different configurations. So I have no idea which one I'm going to be using, but we're about to find out. We're going to find out real quick. Alright, let's see. See, that's a different type too. Alright. After fiddle jacking with it for a little bit, I believe I figured this thing out. With some effort, I was able to pull the pin, which is good. That's what I'm after. Alright? What you do is, way up underneath here, you got the pin. I don't know if you guys can see. There's a pin, and there's a little plastic tab on both of these. You got to get a pretty good grip on the actual wire you want to pull. Then you take your other pin, put it up underneath that little tab, and what you're doing is trying to pull the tab away. It's basically, you're trying to pull it away like so. I know it's hard to see, guys. I'm sorry, it's dark. But yeah, it's just you pull it away, and you pull back on the pin, and there it goes. And then I give it a little bit of assistance. I take my other pin and I shove it down inside, which pulls the pin out from the back side. So that's what I'm going to do for each and every one of those. That's how you pull out the pins for this particular one. I'm a little nervous about putting it back in there, but that's my first one. Now my other one, this one here, in order to pull these pins out, I don't think there's a plastic retainer. You just got to stick another pin down in here, and there's another tab. Same way, you got to flick the tab. See, this is a retainer, this orange clip, so you have to remove that first, which I haven't done this before. I don't know, I'll figure that one out, but I'm not going to do that. Trust me, I'm going to figure this out, No, wait. Is this it? Is this how you do it? Oh, it is. Oh shit. I dropped it. Oh, where did you go? No. I can't lose you. Where did it go? Oh, that's great. Okay, well, it's down here on the ground somewhere, I'm sure. But, yeah, it's the retainer that holds these wires in. So now I can pull these out however I choose. But I'll figure it out. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a heat shrink and put it up here and cover up all the exposed wire, and then put these pins back on the plug and then call it a day. Alright, after about maybe 5 minutes of tinkering, this little silicone bushing that goes on the back of all these pins, as you can see right there, I folded it inside out to get it off of that pin. But what I'm going to do here is I've already run up some heat shrink, and I'll show you guys how this stuff works real quick. It looks as though the rest of the wire on this strand looks good, but this part right here is bad. So I'm only going to be using 2 pieces of heat shrink. So let me show you how you put these things on. Alright, you got your pin. You just, yeah, if I can get this with the light. There we go. Hopefully the light's not too harsh for y'all. Alright. You just slide it on there. That's all you gotta do. And then with this, I'm just gonna cover up the exposed wire. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I gotta put that bushing on. So yeah, before I do this, I'm gonna put that bushing back on, and then I'll run some of this. You know what? I can just do it like this. And I'll put the bushing over this. So, alright, and then you take a handy dandy butane lighter. Where did I put it? It's in my pocket. If I can just find it. Alright. You just apply a little bit of heat and it shrinks. It literally shrinks. Just a little bit of heat. You see how it's shrinking? Just keep it moving back and forth. And hit it on both sides. And voila, a whole new coating on the outside of that wire, and no matter what you do, they'll never touch. So I'm going to move that up a little bit so that silicone will sit over it. And then I'll just heat up the rest of it and process repeat for the rest of the wires. Where's my flashlight? It's in my butt. Hold on, it's right here. Here we go. That's going to be too bright. Dim. Alright. This right here, I was able to get that pin out on the side by using, you probably can't see all too well, but there's a little pin. I'm going to draw an arrow right there. You slide a pin down inside that hole, and it'll actually release these pins here. So what I've done is, as you can tell, you see the exposed copper? Yeah, see exposed copper? That ain't supposed to happen. So, I think there was more exposed copper up here. But what I've done on this one is I've actually already put heat shrink down on this. And this one is ready to go back in that socket. And then I'm going to pull out the other side and repeat the same process. So, it is tedious work. But hopefully this is actually something that might be a solution to my problem. Wish me luck on this. Believe me, I'm going to need it. So I'm going to get back to work, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright folks, it is the next day, and I got all the wiring put back together. I ran the wires back up underneath the engine and plugged up both the crankshaft sensor and the knock sensor, the ones I've re-insulated, and I put new pins back in. Well, not new, put the pins back in. Had it all reassembled and fired it up the very next day. Now my problem is, what I've noticed is this truck had a dead battery. This is a new battery, guys. I mean, it's, how old is it? What? Look at the date. So apparently I bought it back in April of 2020. But for you stoners out there, you get the joke of that one. I bought this battery back in April of 2020. Here it is about a year later, so there's no reason why that battery should be bad. And prior to the engine being swapped out, this engine was fine. It would start every single time, so I know the battery's good. The problem is, why is that battery going dead? And it's been sitting for maybe 2 or 3 days, something like that. So what I'm thinking is, I've got a short to ground somewhere. There's a wire that is exposed or something that is just not working right, and it's pulling power from that battery and draining it slowly, and that is no good for me. But anyway, I got this truck running yesterday, and I drove it around a little bit, and it was still giving me issues. It wouldn't go into 4th and 5th gear. MDS system wouldn't engage. It just and I had a loss of power. It just, something was just off, you know. And I got back home. Now before all this, I ran the check and the codes, and it gave me like 6 codes, and that blew my mind. But after insulating those other 2 wires, I came back to the house, I checked for the codes, and it gave me 1. And that code is P0340. What that says is there is a short to the camshaft sensor circuit. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Alright. In a previous video, I showed y'all that I changed out, where'd it go? I changed out this sensor right here, okay? This sensor, alright, this sensor is the camshaft sensor. That one is brand new. I just changed it. What it's talking about is the circuit, which is the wires that it's connected to. So somewhere, I gotta check to see if I got corroded connectors, if it's possible. I may have a bad connection. Or I gotta chase these 3 freaking wires all the way through this wire, this wiring harness. I gotta chase it all the way to the back. Okay, I gotta see where it's going. So I'm gonna have to dig in to this wiring harness. It's all the way back here. It's all the way back here, and it goes all the way up to the PCM in one of these 4 main terminals. So I gotta figure out which one does it go to. And what I'm thinking here is it's gonna go into one of 2, it looks like. Either this one or this one. These 2, they are connected separately through something else. But anyway, I gotta match these colors, these wires. I'm gonna find out what pins go to what. I'm gonna ohm them out or check the continuity. I'm gonna see if there's a break in the wire somewhere, and we're gonna end up doing that today. So I got my work cut out for me today, but I think I'm almost out of the woods. All this work, I'm pretty sure will be worth it, because I got a new engine, good, damn near brand new rebuilt transmission. The truck is in great shape. The AC still works fine. It's a good truck for its age. Just having a minor electrical setback, it can give you a headache, but once you get it fixed, it's totally worth it in the end. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop that out. I will be inspecting the connections on that, but my objective is to inspect this wire. One more thing I'm going to do along with checking that wire, is I'm gonna check all the grounds on this engine. I want to make, because I mean, when they put it back in, they may have just thrown the stuff together and missed a ground. It may have a bad engine ground, engine to chassis ground somewhere. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to go through the engine and just check them all. You know, make sure they got good contact, because that also could cause you know, a loss in power. So anyway, God help me. Okay, folks. So after that last part of the movie, listen to me. After the last part of the video, I checked all the connections, everything ohmed out right, everything. I had good continuity. I double checked everything. I cross checked it with another mechanic that I've been talking with. He deals with a lot of this stuff all the time. And as you can see, I'm currently driving the truck. Whatever I was working on with the wiring harness wasn't exactly the problem. Part of the problem was exposed wires. That is true. However, I got to pondering and I got to thinking. I'm like, you know what? Let me check the grounds on these, because you know, if you don't get a good ground, your vehicle is going to run like total. Yeah. So I checked the battery first. The battery terminals look like total horse patootie. I said, yep, can't do that. So I checked all the connections that go to the negative part of the battery. I looked at all the engine ground wires. Every one of them was dirty. They had some corrosion on them. They had poor connection. And there was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's like 5 of them that go to this engine. And all 5 of them were terrible. I said, you know what? I bet you that's where my power is going. I was wondering why the trickle charger was having a hard time putting energy into the battery. So I looked at the positive terminal. Positive terminal looked just as bad. So what I went ahead and I did is I cleaned up all the electrical points. You know, anything positive and negative that goes to the battery, anything that connects positive to the fuse box, any power that goes to the PCM, all the connections for that, especially the ground that goes from the chassis to the engine and to the battery. Everything cleared up. Okay, it took me a little while and a whole lot of sandpaper, but I got it. And as you can see now, I'm driving the truck. I have no check engine light. I've got full throttle. I got my power back. I mean, I got it back. And I've also got my MDS. My MDS is back. So I think because of poor grounding to the engine and bad connections, that caused my computer basically to say, yeah, well, we can't exactly work fully, so we're gonna go ahead and give you some crap. So I believe my whole situation was not just because of the wires exposed, but poor grounding. If your vehicle has poor grounding, it won't run right at all. Alright guys, well, I believe that's going to be a wrap for today's video. If you don't have a good ground and good electrical connections, your vehicle is going to run like total ass. So you might want to just double check all your stuff. If it's not running right, go back and check your connections, because I guarantee that'll save you a lot of moolah in the long run. But anyway, if you like the content of this video, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I appreciate you guys sticking around for another episode of SV Cruising. Until next time, y'all take it easy. Bye.
Hey, it's a party over here. Bring your people to the